Visa processed more money than most countries produce in a year. But here's the strange part. Visa does not own that money, does not lend it, and does not even issue your card. Most people see the blue logo on a card and think Visa is the company giving them credit, but the loan usually comes from a bank. Visa is doing something quieter. Imagine every purchase as a tiny car, the buyers on one side, the sellers on the other. Visa owns one of the busiest roads between them. When you tap your card for coffee, it feels instant. But behind that tap, a message travels from the merchant to a bank, through Visa to another bank, then back again. The merchant wants to know if the card is valid. The bank wants to know if the customer can pay. Visa moves the message fast enough that nobody notices the machinery. This is the first trick. Visa is not mainly moving money at the checkout. It is moving trust. It tells strangers they can safely do business in seconds. A small bakery does not know your bank. Your bank does not know the bakery, but both know Visa. That shared connection turns chaos into a clean payment. Now, the business model starts to appear. Visa takes small fees from activity moving across its network. Not the whole purchase, not the loan interest, just a tiny slice of movement. That is why Visa can be powerful without acting like a bank. Banks carry the customer relationship. Banks carry much of the credit risk. Visa sits between them. And this is the realization. Visa is not the card. Visa is the rail. The card is just a ticket that lets your money ride on Visa's global payment highway. Once you see Visa this way, every checkout looks different. A supermarket, a hotel, an online store, an airport kiosk, each one becomes another entrance ramp. The more customers use Visa, the more merchants want to accept it. The more merchants accept it, the more banks want to issue Visa cards. The loop feeds itself. This is not a normal product. A restaurant can switch coffee suppliers. A shopper can switch brands. But replacing a payment network means convincing everyone at once. Now, zoom out. Visa reported 4.9 billion payment credentials in fiscal 2025. That means billions of cards, phones, watches, and digital tokens carrying access to its network. Every credential is like a tiny key. One key opens a checkout in Paris, another opens a taxi in New York, another opens an online store at midnight. In fiscal 2025, Visa processed 257.5 billion transactions. That is not a few big deals. It is billions of tiny moments. Groceries, flights, subscriptions, fuel, hotels. This is why tiny fees matter. A single toll can look meaningless, but if hundreds of billions of cars pass through the booth becomes a money machine. Here is the scale. Visa reported $14.2 trillion in payments volume in fiscal 2025, more than the annual output of almost every country, and Visa's net revenue was $40.0 billion. Picture a river of money wider than entire economies. Visa does not drink the river. It builds the bridge, maintains the rules, checks the traffic, and charges for crossing. The best part for Visa is that spending can grow without Visa opening thousands of branches. More online shopping, more travel, more digital wallets, more traffic on the same road. Banks may fight for customers, merchants may fight for sales. But Visa benefits when both sides simply keep transacting. It wins from movement, not from owning inventory. This is also why Visa can survive problems that hurt lenders. If a customer pays interest, that is usually the bank's business. If a customer defaults, that is usually the bank's pain. Visa still has risks. Regulators watch payment fees. Merchants complain about costs. New payment systems try to go around cards. But replacing Visa is not just building software. To copy Visa, you need banks, merchants, fraud systems, security rules, settlement processes, consumer trust, global acceptance, and enough volume for everyone to care. The hardest part is not the technology. It is agreement. Millions of merchants and thousands of financial institutions already speak Visa's language. A new network must teach everyone a new one. Even when payment habits change, Visa tries to stay inside the change. Cards become phones, phones become watches, checkout becomes invisible. But the rail can still sit underneath. That is the genius of Visa. It does not need to be the most visible brand at checkout. It only needs to be the trusted path behind the transaction. The world sees plastic cards. Investors see something else: a toll road for commerce connected to billions of credentials, hundreds of billions of transactions, and trillions in spending. So the next time you see a Visa logo, do not imagine a lender. Imagine a silent checkpoint where money, data, banks, merchants, and trust all pass through. Visa did not become powerful by owning your money. It became powerful by owning one of the roads your money travels on. And in modern commerce, roads can be richer than destinations.